Assalamu alaikum. I'm Sajdah Wendy Muhammad, and you are tuned into the Mind of an Entrepreneur Show. And this is the MOEToday series on Black Muslims businesses. And let me tell you something. I got a sweet treat for y'all tonight. We're going to be talking to Imani Muhammad, and we're going to be talking about her original bean pies and sweet treats. You don't want to miss it. Stay tuned, sit back, tell a friend, like and subscribe, and we'll be right back. You're tuned in to the Mind of an Entrepreneur Show with your host, myself, Sajdah Wendy Muhammad. I am a multi-million-dollar business developer. I have developed business and real estate around the world, and I want to share with you my mental strategies, my technical strategies, and how I made it in the world of business. So I don't teach theory. I tell you about my life and introduce you to people who can also share with you what they've done to become successful. This is a practical show. This ain't a theory show. You don't want to miss it. So stay tuned.
O Allah, guide me among those whom Thou hast guided aright, and preserve me among those whom Thou hast preserved, and befriend me among those whom Thou hast befriended. Bless me in whatsoever Thou dost grant me, and deliver me from the evil of what Thou hast judged. Surely Thou judgest, and none can judge against Thee, and he whom Thou befriendest is not disgraced. Blessed art Thou, O Lord, and exalted be Thee above what they set up besides Thee. I bear witness, nothing deserves to be served besides Thee, and I bear witness that Muhammad is Thy servant and apostle. Amen.
Assalamu alaikum. This is Sister Sajdah. I want to tell you all about our Sajdah House summer tours and fundraising events. Because you are a friend of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad House Museum, you are being given a unique sneak peek into this sacred renovation and restoration. The house remains under construction as we inch closer to the finish line. We appreciate your support and look forward to seeing you this summer. So click the link in the bio or just go to Eventbrite and search Sajdah House Summer Tours and Fundraising Events.
You belong to yourself. You're an independent people, created from the nation of free people. Yes, sir. You don't need to go nowhere but to yourself. Yes, sir. There will be a great separation. Yes, sir. So I said, it is on now.
The college is meant to prepare you for your future. That the time dictates that if we don't do something for ourselves as a people, we will be destroyed. And the aim of the enemy right now is to take us out.
We have God with us. We have Him as our guide. Yes, sir. We don't have to stand around here and ask the question, what must be done? Yes, sir. Get up and let's go and do something. Yes, sir. down. We cannot lay down. Yes, sir. We must get up. Yes, sir. And go to work.
Do you know what real joy is in life? Visioning something and bringing it into reality. That's real joy. Do you know what the next step in joy is? Behold how good and how pleasant it is for brethren to dwell in unity.
Tonight, you need to fasten your seatbelts. We're going to hear from some of the greatest minds in the world. I don't know about you, but I'm tired of trusting our future and the future of our children into the hands of those who don't love us. I believe we need to revitalize black leadership.
Assalamu alaikum, family. I'm Sister Sajdah Wendy Muhammad, and welcome to the MOEToday series on Black Muslim businesses. And today, we're going to be talking about that almighty bean pie. So we're going to be welcoming my sister Imani Muhammad. She's going to talk to you about her business, her products. But for those of you who don't know what a bean pie is, and you don't even know really the history of bean pies, and some people think we just weird, as Nation of Islam followers of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. Let me break a few things down to you. See, in the early 30s, I'm going to skip past some things that y'all might not be ready for, but when the Honorable Elijah Muhammad began to teach us that we needed to divorce ourselves from the slave master and from his way of life, the first thing he did was talk to us about who we are and tell us about accepting ourselves and who the devil is. Okay. A lot of y'all freak out on that, but the history is the history. And so what many of us did when we first came into the nation, we divorced ourselves from the slave master first by divorcing ourselves from his name. So, for example, when I first came in the Nation of Islam, I was Sister Wendy X, because the history behind our last names as Black people who were slaves is that whoever owned you is the name you took. So if your slave master was Mr. Johnson, you became Betty Johnson. If he sold you to his business partner or colleague or friend, or somebody died and inherited you, and you moved to John Moore's plantation, you then became Betty Moore. So the last name became a signal of who owned you. So the first thing we did was we X'd ourselves and divorced ourselves from that. Then we began to divorce ourselves from certain activities and certain lifestyle things, lifestyle behaviors that were synonymous with being a slave. There were a lot, I'll skip over some other things, but there were a lot of food choices that were given to us because of the scraps that we were fed as slaves, like pork and chitlins or chitterlings, if y'all bougie Black people. We call them chitlins when I grew up. So we stopped eating all that. We got ourselves off of all these crazy medicines. And then there were certain foods that were really hard on our digestive system. So when the Honorable Elijah Muhammad taught us to eat one meal a day to give our digestive system a rest, that they now today call intermittent fasting, that we've been doing for 90 plus years, we give our digestive system a rest and we stop eating certain foods that were really harsh on our digestive system. Things like collard greens and sweet potatoes are not on the list. So you go pick up your How to Eat to Live book by the Honorable Elijah Muhammad and you'll see all of this. But a lot of people still like sweet potatoes and a lot of people still like collard greens. So we began to make mustard greens and we began to make an alternative to the sweet potato pie, which is the bean pie made out of the navy bean. And the navy bean, if you know, is a staple for those of us as Black American Muslims because of the nutrients and minerals contained and the life-giving substances contained in that little tiny navy bean, not the big northern ones, not the pinto beans, the belly busters, not those, the little tiny white navy beans. Okay. And so in the navy bean began through a whole process of people experimenting and all of that. I'll skip past all that, but we made a pie out of it. Okay. And so it replaced sweet potato pie in our lives. And the navy bean mixed with the sugar was much easier on our digestive systems than that big old harsh sweet potato. Y'all didn't know that, right? So we're taught to not eat things that are going to be harsh on our digestive system and on our intestines and our stomachs, because that's where the health of our body really lives. Okay. So this bean pie has been perfected. We have bean pie contests. You know us in the Nation of Islam for our bean pie. And let me tell you something, that bean pie is addictive. Look, we so into it that even at the Honorable Elijah Muhammad house, we have a Sajdah bean pie ice cream. Some of y'all know about that. So what I'm going to do before I bring my sister on, I want to give y'all that history. And what I want to do is show you a short video, okay, where our sister's just talking about how they got started. It's only about 2 minutes. We're not going to show the whole thing. I just want you to get a feel for her and the type of creativity and the type of emerging market leader in the food and beverage industry that she is. I want you to get an idea of the type of industry disruptors that she and her family members are, because that's what we are as Black Muslims in business. I tell people all the time, it's nothing like doing business with a true Black Muslim. Why? Because some of those integrity issues and some of those challenges that you have by dealing with people outside of our community, you're not going to have that with us. And because we're clean, we're fast moving, quick thinking, right down to the modern times, we're innovative, we're creative, we're ingenious. We are inventing and transforming and doing things in business that nobody else is doing. We are investment worthy. So take a minute and check out this video, and I'll be right back. Tell a friend, make sure you like and subscribe.
When I'm baking, it's just, I like to kind of like have that quiet time. I know most people say, well, it's not quiet. It is. There's just machines going and our music maybe, but I could just kind of be in my own zone, I think. And that's what I like the most about baking. It started as a homeschool project with my daughter at the time, my oldest daughter at the time, who was 7. We were doing a project on the navy bean, how it received its name, its health benefits. And so that's how we all got started. We did bean pie, bean soup, and bean salad as the foods around that project. The bean pie turned out pretty good. Salad, not so good, but 2 out of 3 is not bad.
I remember coming downstairs, and I do remember tasting it. But you ever had something that just hit you all of a sudden? So I remember tasting it, and all of a sudden, all these thoughts started hitting me off to that taste. I was like, man, this could lead into something. So I told my wife, I said, I think this can be a real good business.
A lot of people think a bean pie is a savory dish. It's actually a dessert. So it's a sweet dish. It's made with navy beans. Why do we use the navy beans? Because when you mix protein and sugar, it's easier on the digestive system for you to digest. What we did, we sold them in a fundraiser for the school. And from there, people kept coming back. And then I said, well, this is a business that we could teach our youth, that we, how to make and manufacture their own product. So next thing you know, we were in Peach Fresh Markets, Whole Foods, Ultra, Fair Play. The youth had an idea of putting it online. And now we ship throughout the United States as well.
All right. Y'all see that? Y'all see how she got started? I see some of y'all in the chat, people saying, that's my girl, Imani. That's right. Let me bring my sister on so we can learn from this genius. Here we go. Here she is. Assalamu alaikum, sis.
Wa alaikum salam, sister.
Welcome to the MOEToday series on Black Muslim businesses. I'm so proud to be a Black Muslim, ain't you?
Yes, ma'am.
It's just nothing. It's just like,
yes, ma'am.
Man, what a gift.
I wouldn't change it for the world.
Oh my gosh, what a gift. Sis, welcome to the show. I'm so proud of you.
And I'm proud of you, sister.
Praise be to Allah. I ordered your pies probably, probably 9 or 10 years ago. We were doing an event in Maryland, and I said, I'm going to order this sister's pies. And people went crazy. You didn't even know me then. I was just like, I'm all about supporting. I'm about supporting us. I see us doing something. I'm like, let me support the sister. People went crazy. And people started ordering the pies. And there's some people in Maryland who tell me, they said, I only get my pies from Imani.
All praises due to Allah.
Yeah,
yes,
that's beautiful. You mentioned in the video how you got started. Can you kind of share that with us again? The school project, how did you do that?
So yeah, in January 1st, 2000, I started a home daycare. At that time, my son was about maybe 8 years old, and then I had just had my second child, and I wanted to be home with them and be involved. And it was a good way most of my friends were having children at the same time. So we started then. And also I continued to homeschool my children and maybe a couple others that were in the daycare as well. So we always did projects, all kind. And if we could incorporate food, that was always fun because children love to cook. So like I said, the Navy bean was something we were always eating bean soup. So in studying the Navy bean, how it received its name and why it's an important food for us, that's when that project came along. So and then I just said, hey, we can show our youth that they can make and manufacture their own products. And that's what we did. So many of them were young at the time. I think my daughter was 7, which make my son like 15 at the time. And we literally started selling them ourselves from the daycare. Started as a fundraiser, and then it went on from there. And then we started putting them in stores and restaurants, and we were in Respect for Life bookstore for about a year. And then we began to put them in stores like Fair Play. We were touring with stores that were like in the community initially, but our first stores were health food stores. Okay. To be correct. Yeah. So it was like me traveling with all these little children all the time. And it became like community gossip. Even so much so that when we were in Fair Play, the manager called me one day and said, yes, some children just delivered the pies. I said, yes, ma'am. She said, okay, well, they seem to know what they were doing.
Because you had been involved in the business very early.
Yeah, so they actually traveled through the growth of this business. And just when I say my children, it's of course my biological children, but I claim them all. So many of the children that were in the daycare, some of them even, help, whether it's consulting or coming in, doing a little work, they still help along the way as well.
Wow. What a lesson, right? Because we always talk about people from the broader community who rear their children to understand how to grow a business from scratch. Because a lot of times when you've never seen that, you just think it just pops up overnight. And in fact, it doesn't. You have to build it, you have to grow. And you also mentioned that you homeschool your children.
Right.
And you told me that you had a couple that graduated or going on to college. So that part of independent education has also been a staple in our community as Black Muslims.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. And I know, oftentimes people go to school, then they finish school, and it's like you don't have any experience.
Mm-hmm.
Either we're going to cheat you by paying you less, or, you got to do some interns or something like that.
Right.
Well, why not learn what to do, then go to school? And that's what many of them were blessed to be able to do. So, I'm so proud of many of the youth all of them that have, that Allah blessed me to be able to teach, because they're all assets to our community in one way or the other, whether they're working jobs, whether they're, or jobs and businesses, whether they finish their bachelor's degrees, master's degrees. We have artists, so we have so many, and what I would like to do, and I will be doing, is bringing that out in our brand. So when you visit Imani's Originals, you'll get to meet these youth, because we hear so much about Chirac, if you will, but that's not the world that I even saw. So
yeah,
I want to welcome you to my world, where the youth grow up and they're we can count on them. They're assets to our community. I didn't say they were perfect. None of us are. But they definitely are assets to our community.
That's our generational wealth right there, right?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Sis, I have this conversation all the time with some of my sister friends. When I came in the nation and we learned how to cook, you cannot tell me nothing. You hear me? I ain't that good at sewing. I'm not going to say that I can sew.
Either.
I ain't that good at it. I used to always be the one talking smack in MGT class, like, why can't I just buy my clothes from her who know how to sew? Why I got to know how to sew? But I wasn't that good at sewing. They always made me take my wrap skirts apart and redo them again, and pillowcases. No, I wasn't that good. But my bean soup is mean.
I'm gonna have to see.
Yeah, listen now. I'll get in a contest with some bean soup, but I'm not a baker. Even though we had to bake and learn all of that, but it was just, man, we was baking bread. You remember all that? We baking bread, we making pies, we making lamb and eggplant, and it's just
something that's funny. I used to tell my grandmother, there's no need for me baking when you all bake. Her and her mom, they bake so well. Why? There's no need for me baking.
Right. Why I got to? That's how I was about sewing. Like, I don't even know why I got to care about this. Y'all sew. I'll make y'all some bean soup, and then y'all make me an outfit. I'll feed y'all, and y'all clothe me. This cooperative economics.
That's right. That's a way to do it as well.
Oh yeah, my sister, she said to me one day. She said, "This has been recently." She said, she said, you was always good with the sisters. She said, you had your lessons down pat and you did a great job teaching the sisters. She said, you make a pretty good bean soup, but you can't sew. I was like, everybody can't do everything.
They do everything all the time.
Other stuff, I'm good on my units, but the sewing is a challenge. But anyway, I didn't master the bean pie. So I want to go back to how you figured out how to master that bean pie, because it's not easy.
I say it was Allah's blessing.
Practice.
Anytime you're working with youth, it's Allah's blessing. And anytime you're working with youth, I don't claim to be a great cook. My little sister, she's a foodie. She can cook. Oh, she can cook really well. I never claimed to be a good cook. I could get by. I do, pretty well. People like what I do.
Wait, so who's making all those other good food treats we're gonna talk about later? Is it you or your sister?
So it's actually, no, she doesn't. So she only cooks for her own. Okay. Yeah, she doesn't want to do it as a business. But yeah, so I make most of it, the soups, the bean pies. And then we have,
honey, you can really cook.
I can, but I don't claim to be a great cook.
Okay, go ahead.
We'll get back into that. We'll get back into
Go ahead.
But yeah, so the bean, it was really what I did with the bean pies, and I'm thankful for my parents. They always had things that they would consult me on or help me with, and just kind of figuring out how to do the same thing over and over again. And so we just kept going at it until it was good from the start, to be honest with you.
Wow.
The first pie that we did have a few whole beans in it, because I like to allow the children to be hands-on. We didn't use a food processor. We used a hand mixer to kind of break up the beans. I didn't want to go so far as having them strain it. I didn't want them to stop liking me, have them strain it on the strainer like back in the day. So I didn't go that far. But yeah, so it's just through that, doing it over and over again. And I always just say the blessings of Allah, because and the love for the Honorable Elijah Muhammad.
Yes.
I was always trying to center projects around basically the principles that we were given from him. So
you know what? I have this dream that I want to open a Navy bean factory where we just produce. It's just been a dream of mine for probably 20 something years. Well, I want a Navy bean factory where we get our beans from our locally grown farmers, which are ourselves. We take them to the factory, our factory, and we process the Navy bean and make Navy bean pasta. We can make, you see the brother have those bean chips.
Chips, yeah.
Yeah, and I noticed that you have some really creative ways in which you're using the Navy bean in addition to the bean pie. So tell us about that too, because I had a couple of them and they're real good.
Okay, right. So aside from the soups, we have various versions of our bean pie. So we have the original. We have one with the homemade cream cheese frosting. Now, my sister did invent that frosting for us. Then we have
the frosting's on top of the bean pie?
It's on top of the bean pie. I know it changes it so much that people think it's a different pie.
Wow.
Yeah, and it changes even further from that with different fruits, I discovered. So, people get the
fruits on the pie
on top of the cream cheese pie came about from the daycare, because I wasn't allowing them to have birthday cake anymore. And we weren't eating certain things. So we had fruit for a birthday party, and it was like, we have fruit every day. It was boring. So they asked if they could have bean pie at the next party. And I said, yes. They said, well, can we put Cool Whip on it? I'm like, no. So then my sister text me over a recipe for the cream cheese frosting. So we did that. So then after doing that, of course, they want to decorate it, right? So instead of using candy and things, chocolate, so we used fruit. And they would take strawberries, pineapples, and blueberries in particular, and kind of dress it up, make it pretty.
So wait, so Imani, that cream cheese bean pie I had, that's actually just a frosting?
Yes, ma'am. It changes it.
And let me tell you something. This what I can't stand about y'all Muslims. Y'all, I'm not really even a sweet person. And between Brother Yahya and Nataki introducing me to this natural ice cream and the bean pie ice cream, and then you got that cream cheese bean pie, I can't stand y'all. That thing is so, I didn't put two and two together that it was like a frosting on top of there, because it's like the creaminess of the bean pie, the texture and the richness mixed with the creaminess of the cream cheese. It's like it's like heaven.
It's a different story. Well, I discovered something else, and people could come to the store for samples of this, but I did something with some peaches, and I put it on top of there, and it's like a total different pie.
You know what?
So if you like peaches,
you're tuning.
Come on over and
you're tuning into something. See, because Brother Nadar Ali, may Allah be pleased with him, who was one of the business managers for the Nation of Islam during the first resurrection, was telling me that we had peach pies in the Jewel grocery store and the bean pies. And there was one other pie I can't think of, but those peach pies were a hit.
And
so
that's peaches cooked in though, right?
that's peaches cooked in.
Okay,
but
these are not.
On top.
These are not. This particular pie is not. But so if we moving forward, there were people that wanted vegan bean pie.
Oh.
And so I was thinking it through, and I don't like to like play in the kitchen, and yeah, that's the part of me, I don't like that. So I thought it through for a long time and then came up with a vegan bean pie. And I didn't want to go after making it taste like original bean pie, because in doing that, it meant using like processed vegan egg, and I didn't want to use all that stuff.
Yeah.
So I came up with what is, our version of the vegan bean pie. But in doing that, we also began to add fruit to them. So we have a blueberry, a peach, and an apple. And that is the fresh fruit cooked in. So you can get an apple pie, you can get a peach pie, and they're good. But it has the navy beans
into the bean pie custard.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you got to taste it because it's not.
You're trying to hurt somebody.
Yeah. And so people that are not vegan
come by there, but I ain't coming.
Yeah, yes, yeah. People that are not vegan think that they don't like those until they taste it. And to me, they're best warm, but then I feel that way about all of them. Right. But yeah.
Tell us about the new location.
Yeah, so we're located at 2423 East 75th Street inside the Quarry Event Center. So I don't know if we're in the South Shore community. If you're familiar with Real Men Cook. So the Real Men Charities own the building that we're in, Yvette Moyo.
Okay.
And she's been in business for as long as we've been pretty much in the world. She's been doing marketing and what she does. So we're glad to be there and come together with them. We operate out of the kitchen and we have a small store in the front. So in our store, we also have specialty items and gift items. And, I always tell people to gift yourself and gift others.
That's right.
So it's items that are healthy items. We have also jewelry, like our stones and copper jewelry made by Twisted Rose Metal. So yeah, people have to come because things change all the time. And most of our customers enjoy the fact that they've been able to grow with us. So I tell them to continue to come out. We're right in the South Shore community. I grew up there during my prime years, like grammar school and high school. And at that time, the neighborhood had gotten pretty terrible, and a lot of things were happening and a lot of people left, which made it a little empty. But now we're revitalizing it.
Right.
Yvette Moyo saw this many years ago. I think the Quarry's been there at least 10 years. And so, and the Obama Center is coming. And so now the property value is changing. So I'm just glad that we're there with a staple in the community that, the community can depend on. They come in, and it's an event center. So we have events, people are able to rent the rooms, but we also have a lot of things going on during the day. Like we did a 3-week camp that was free for the youth in the community. And, just so many things going on. We also had the mobile spa bus a couple of weeks ago. So this is a friend of mine that also grew up in the same community, Joanne Holman. And the spa bus is one, you got to come, Wendy. We're going to do it again on the 15th and the 16th of July.
Please let me know, because that's my field. I'm into wellness and spas.
Yes.
All of that. Wow, I can't. Yes, please let me know. Text me, let me know. I would love to come and check that out. How ingenious is that? A mobile spa bus.
And it's awesome. It's everything. You could come on and get your facial, your massage, or your manicure, pedicure. Some people that were saying, well, they maybe couldn't afford they were able to get on and get like a hand and foot massage, which is out of this world.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. And then we have lunch incorporated. So we have the soup. We also partner. So I'm into really partnering with our people.
Yeah, me too.
That's what I do.
Mm-hmm.
And so we partner with Just Sandwiches as well.
Okay, tell us
And
about
people
those.
are loving that. Just Sandwiches makes the sandwiches. We have the turkey sandwich, which is the most popular. But we also have a vegan sandwich that she calls the garbage sandwich.
Ooh, what's on that?
It's made with hummus and lots of vegetables and spinach, like a like spinach and lettuce. But it is so good. That's, to me, the veggie sandwich is the best.
Yeah, I love a good veggie sandwich.
Right. So we incorporated that with the soups, and we just, tell people to come over. We also have a patio in the back, so sometimes we turn on the music back there. People could come and sit, weather permitting, out there and have lunch. We're open from 11 to 5 every day except Sunday, unless we're having an event, as we will be on the 15th and 16th of this month.
Okay. Okay, perfect. No, I will definitely, please send me a note. I can't wait.
Yes. So yeah, the last one was so nice. And the thing is, I didn't really know what to expect because people would be getting on the bus. I knew that, but they would also be sitting and waiting or having lunch. So I thought, oh, we'll party. We'll have the music going but it was so relaxing. Everybody was kind of like in a zone of tranquility.
Just a nice vibe.
Yeah, we played some neo soul music and people just enjoyed themselves. So
it's nothing like that. It's nothing like that kind of vibe.
And the beautiful thing is people were calling way into the nighttime that day saying, hey, I wanted to get on the bus. People in the community. So these things, they've never seen. So now we can bring it to our community. And this is the thing that we need. We need to be able to relax.
Yeah.
We see it in other cultures.
Yeah. Let that nervous system just regenerate and regroup. And you got the crystal jewelries up in there. And
right.
I'm for it. I'm here for all of it.
We partner with Tame Beauty. So we have the turmeric soaps, the charcoal soaps, the scrubs, all kinds of things. So you just have to come. Yeah.
Okay. You talk
and
me.
People have to keep visiting because things change all the time. We're always bringing in new things, innovative things. And then, a lot of our people are dealing with health issues. So we, the things that we use, really that I use, we have that to offer as well, like black seed oil, moringa seeds, sea moss gel.
Right.
Yeah. So
I got some of your sea moss gel at Bonnie Sante's.
Right. So we still have the sea moss gel in the health food stores as well. But if you want Imani's original bean pies, you have to come to us at 2423 East 75th Street, right on the corner of 75th and Phillips.
Okay.
And we're also on DoorDash. We ship throughout the United States. So if you can't get to us, you can.
Okay. And what stores are you in Chicagoland area?
So now we're only in Go Green Community Fresh Market as far as pies go.
Okay.
And but our sea moss is still in Bon Santé in Hyde Park, Southtown in Beverly, and Sunrise in Country Club Hills.
Okay.
And those were the stores that took us on in the beginning. So we just have a connection.
Right.
I mean, they watched all the children grow. The children were in there doing demos. So we try to keep the relationship going. And then as far as Go Green, it's in Inglewood, which is the community that I live in and love. So, and I was on the steering committee of getting that store open. So if I leave there, I'd be in big trouble.
Yeah, that's right. So if we want to order some bean pies or the cheese pie, all the pies ship if
Yes,
we go
ma'am.
to Imani's Originals?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
All of them ship if they're in Chicago and in there within a certain vicinity, they may be able to order from DoorDash. And then we got the old school people that don't like any of that, and they just give us a call, 773-716-7007.
773-716-7007.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. You can just call up and then she can tell you what she's got, how you can get it. So last but not least, what's your vision for the future of your products and your business? Where do you see this 5 years from now?
So I see us branding ourselves a little differently. People coming to us and we'll be highlighting our brand, and we'll be highlighting what Imani's Originals has meant to the community, which is something that I didn't necessarily do in the past because we were dealing with distribution, right? So now we're pulling away from distribution, and we'll be highlighting more. You'll see more of a social service side of us, because that's how we started.
Yeah, because you're creating, to me, this is what I see. You're creating or fine-tuning a new business model.
Yes.
That is socioeconomic, that has products wrapped up in it, but it's wellness, it's health, it's entertainment, it's very social and community-based business.
Right. And so we started out, as I said, showing our youth that we can make and manufacture our own products. And in doing that, we were teaching youth entrepreneurship training, which I call life training.
Yes,
as the minister said, is all one is life, right?
That's right.
So whether you start in a business or you're working a job, you still need to have these key skills to be successful. And these are things that we need to know. Even if I heard on one of your shows in the past, a brother talk about how we were able to hustle or make money, but we didn't know what to do with our money, like how to make money work for us. And so like, it would honor me to be able to bring people like yourself around and speak to some of our youth, and not just to speak to them, but to help them put the proper practices in place to make it happen.
I'm there, sis. I live for this. You know, I spent most of my life doing business consulting for and with people who didn't look like me. And I'm not hating on it, because it blessed me to be able to do a lot of things for my community. But what I then realized was that I had a unique set of skills that I can offer to people in my community, that I can offer to people like yourself and the other entrepreneurs that come on here about how to grow and expand your business. And I have to say this because everybody and their mama is a business developer and a business coach these days, but I have receipts. Yes. And I have actually built businesses that I can point to. I've failed and made it in business. And so I would love to come and teach or train or help in whatever way that I can. You reach out to me, we can figure it out. I go to MOEToday for career day and things like that. Now, if people need some deep services and stuff like that, then we'll have to talk about a price. But when we talk about just giving the game and really showing people the game of business, the science of business, I can definitely help with that, because I've been the spook that sat by the door for many, many years. And for whatever reason, just like Allah just said, sis, I'm going to show you how to make the bean pie. This was just something he put in me and showed me how to do. And so I don't, it's not just me saying it. It's not me just going, well, yeah, I can probably show you. I literally, Sister Imani, as a consultant and as an auditor, probably have been in and out of more businesses than most people would be ever in their life, because I would do project after project. Africa, Korea, China. So I'm there for us. I'm there for our people. And whatever you need, please let me know. And we're going to be doing some wonderful things from the Honorable Elijah Muhammad in this phase of our development, which is economic development. and really digging into that science of business. And so partnering with people like yourself and the brothers and sisters over there, I would love to.
Oh, and I would love to bring my team for a visit.
Well, you know, you can do it Friday.
Pardon me?
You know, you can do that this Friday and Saturday.
Oh.
Because we're going to be doing tours. We got July tours. That QR code that's at the top of the screen, if you, your daughter or somebody, I know they're probably looking, they can take a picture of that. It's going to give you a link on where you can go to reserve your tours. You have something going on the 15th and 16th.
Right.
And so do I, but you can definitely come on out.
Huh. So I'll try to see what Saturday looks like. I'm actually driving to get my grandchildren on Friday, which is tomorrow, right?
Tomorrow on Saturday. But just look at the dates and see what day works for you.
Okay, great. Okay. Sounds like a plan.
It's been wonderful talking to you. I'm so glad that I ran into you during the Chicago Muslim History Tour.
Yes, ma'am.
May Allah bless you and your family. I send you all nothing but good love and energy.
Yes, ma'am.
May He bless you from His bounties more than you ever experienced or imagined.
Oh, wow. Thank you, sister. May Allah continue to bless you and your family as well. And thank you so much for having me. And yes, I'm so glad we ran into each other.
Yeah,
I look forward to great things in the future.
This ain't the last time, sis. May Allah bless you. You know how our brother Mandine is. I'm going to go get on his show.
I'll be over there.
All right. I'll see you soon, sis.
Yes, ma'am.
Inshallah. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam.
All right. Y'all see how we do? Y'all see what kind of businesses and new innovative things that we do here in our community. So you guys heard us talking. We're doing tours of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad House. It's our summer series fundraising tours. It's an opportunity for you to come and get a sneak peek and allow us to kind of use you as a guinea pig, if you will. It gives us an opportunity because what we're doing is really perfecting our guest experience. And even though the house is still under construction, just having you on the property and talking through things, letting you feel and experience it and giving us feedback on what you're feeling is great. And so we have a few tours coming up. We have tomorrow, which is Friday and Saturday. And then we have the 15th and 16th, and then we have July 30th. So all this month of July, you can use the QR code right there, this one. And when you use the QR code, go and register, get signed up. And then we just love to have you. We're still raising funds, trying to get finished. You see going across the bottom, our donation site. If you use a credit card, go to SajdahHouseDonations.com. If you use Cash App, you can go to $MOEToday, MOEToday. And we will see you all, inshallah, tomorrow afternoon. So jump on over to WVON right now. I'm going to be on Brother Mandine's show and talking to him about the tours. And I look forward to seeing you all Saturday morning, also on the Sajdah Saturday Morning Coffee Talk. So stay tuned, and we'll see you soon. Peace and blessings, family. Thank you so much for tuning in. Love you all. Greetings, conscious entrepreneurs. Add the Mind of an Entrepreneur show to your Roku TV lineup and catch up on past episodes of all your favorite MOEToday shows.